Hello, this is Vivian. Today's June the 29th, and this is my reflection number 4, creating synergy in online classrooms via emerging technologies. And this is for MM4. This was an online presentation on June the 3rd, given by Dr. Cheryl Lentz. And the reflection is based on a recording since I was not able to attend the live presentation due to a scheduling conflict. The goal of the presentation was to share strategies that would enhance the student experience through designing courses that integrate emerging technologies as techniques for teaching adults. A word I was unfamiliar with, andragogy. The agenda consisted of considering blogs and videos as teaching tools. And these two sites were provided by Dr. Lentz, and she says she uses them as a kind of external library. Several questions came up as I watched the presentation. I considered some of the ways I might engage students in a closed group in Facebook and Twitter. I have been using Twitter since 2010, but have not created a closed community of students as of yet. Dr. Lentz provided some suggestions for attracting students to click on a button and join the group. What is the hook that will inspire them to come into the closed group? That is my question. I also wondered how I would maintain their interest once they opted into the group. There definitely needs to be a well thought out strategy mapped out in advance. It seems like today's educator needs to be a strategist as well as an instructor, or should I say a facilitator. I have not used Twitter very much. I use it periodically to tweet information I find of personal interest to like-minded recipients. Dr. Lentz said that Twitter has proven to be an indispensable tool for students to trim down what it is they want to say. They have demonstrated they can create clear, succinct messages with the limited number of characters that Twitter permits. Once achieved, the students have won a significant mastery in communicating in English. This reminds me of the saga stories, which I have tried to do myself. This is a kind of mini story that can only consist of 50 words and encourages the development of creativity and discipline. And for more information on this, I included a link here in Squidoo. It's a good article that somebody wrote. I related to the content of this presentation as a teacher as well as an individual. Dr. Lentz said that today we can adopt a modality of teaching that suits our lifestyles. Since I like to divide my time between Canada and Estonia, the opportunity to provide classes online allows me to live in 2 different countries. As an educator in the 21st century, I was struck by the importance of keeping abreast of the development of emerging technologies we can use online to reach students in all corners of the world. We especially need to be prepared for the young generation of students who are in kindergarten today and who are already learning how to navigate online with gadgets like iPads. Their professors down the road will need to be IT savvy in order to meet the educational needs of these young students. Some of the thoughts that went through my mind as I watched the presentation included the topic of the 3 different learning styles: visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. There are learners who benefit best from watching films and taking written dictation, and Dr. Lentz calls these a show me mindset. She calls this a show me mindset. Others do well in a traditional lecture style forum, though this is trending towards a flip forum where the students prepare for their lectures ahead of time and then interact with the instructor in the forum. Finally, there are those people who prefer to use their hands so that they can participate in the activity firsthand, so to speak. These people do well in sports and such skills as woodworking. As most people in my generation, the approach we were taught under was visual. We did start to have exposure to more interactive methodology where we were encouraged to sit in a circle. I think this was in social studies or history, and participate in teacher-initiated discussions. Looking at the description of these 3 styles, I find that I can learn under all 3, but I do have a preference for the kinesthetic style. I recall a language class I taught when I had adult students from Cambodia and Vietnam. The 2 groups refused to work together based on their past history. I was student teaching at the time and let them work on their own since that was their comfort zone. Now, how could this be handled online? What does an instructor do when political biases are so strong that they can permeate the classroom atmosphere so strongly that they eclipse the goodwill and co-creation that the instructor is trying to encourage? These questions make me feel a certain discomfort regarding my ability to craft interactive activities when some of my students will be carrying with them very powerful cultural prejudices. The challenges I may encounter when implementing activities that require all cultures to find a common ground when learning the language is to get culture A to work together with culture B, leaving any prejudice and anger outside the door. As Dr. Lentz said, it is important to lay out the guidelines right at the outset. So if the student understands that there is a certain code of conduct to be followed, they can be in the group, but if they break this code of conduct, they'll have to leave the group. As a result of what I've heard in this presentation, I would like to move forward and create weekly blog posts that would inspire students. And simultaneously, I'd like to learn how to tweet the same information, but in an edited version. And some of the questions I have are: number one, how can I learn more about how to design the strategy behind the Twitter tweets and the private Facebook group Dr. Lentz said she created? Number two, how does one get the students to want to join the private group? And three, how does one learn the knack of tweeting effectively? Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and open up my dashboard where I've created a space for the new blog post. I'm going to go ahead and post this. And I do have an image that I'm going to put over here. Just 1 second here. I just put on a brief pause. Okay, I've gone ahead and included an image of Dr. Lentz as part of my blog post. And I'm going to go ahead and publish it. Later on, I'll do my SEO in the back here. Okay, so let's take a look. Oftentimes I have to go back and tidy things up. Sometimes don't get everything there. Right, but here it is. It's under my blog section, reflection number 4. And there's the article that my reflection number 4. Yeah, and I do need to go ahead and activate these links, which I'll go ahead and do afterwards, but basically I've gone ahead and posted this. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.